good?
Thank you.
Cat.
Coach, would you mind just sliding
The break in
behind you?
the table.
Break in the background.
Pole right there.
You can move even more.
I was gonna say.
Thank you.
Y'all are on an island over there. All right. We're all situated?
Good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you all joining us for the post-game press conference for the Florida Gators. We are joined by head coach Kelly Ray Finley, senior guard Zippy Broughton, and sophomore guard Nina Rickards. We will begin with opening remarks from Coach Finley and follow up with questions for Zippy and Nina. Lastly, we'll circle back with Coach Finley for any other questions. When asking questions, please wait until the microphone is handed to you to ask your question. For any virtual questions, please use the hand raise function and wait to be unmuted. Please be sure to state your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. Coach, we'll start with the opening remarks.
Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for coming to the game today. Thank you for staying. We appreciate your support. I think it's good for the women's game. And I think that Connecticut fans are basketball fans, first and foremost, so that was fun to see a lot of people stay for our game today. Obviously, it wasn't the outcome that we had hoped for. I thought that we competed. I thought we competed well amongst the adversity that we've had to end the season. Though we don't do excuses. We never will. We don't look for them. That was a very talented UCF team, very experienced, and it was a good game to play up here in Stores today. I'm very proud of our team. I'm proud of our seniors, their effort, their resiliency throughout the course of the season. And this is a team that has started to leave a legacy. It's for building blocks for the future, for our program. And I think, as a whole, I'm just very proud. Sad that will be the last time that we compete together as a group. But looking forward to our future of Florida women's basketball.
And we'll open things up for questions for Zippy and Nina.
Zippy and Nina, Alexa Philippi with ESPN. You guys have been through so much adversity this year, even the last few weeks alone. Kind of what do you take from this whole experience this season? And I know probably the loss is still really fresh, but what do you think you'll kind of take away most or remember most about what you're able to accomplish this year?
I feel like a big word you said was experience. We had to go through a lot of adversity this season, from literally before we even started all the way up into this game. So we learn from those. We get better. We about to recruit to be able to compete in the SEC. But it's just, like you said, it's learning experiences, and we're going to improve from that and become better players.
I would also agree. It was a great experience this year, what we went through, and it only, got us to be stronger and resilient. And all I have to say is that this is just the beginning. In the beginning of the season, as I mentioned, we all wanted the goal to be here, and we got here. We know what it feels like now, so next year we're going to build and prepare for that all summer. So.
Zippy, Howard Magdal with the Next. Congratulations on the season you guys had. When you talk about, you're recruiting to go and compete next year, what is that? What are the missing pieces, the missing pieces that you feel like are taking you from here, which is an NCAA tournament team, to the place where you guys want to go?
Well, she got the head coaching job, so I'm gonna let her stick to that. So I know next year I'll have the point guard spot. And, we already keep talking about I'm going to be going through a lot of extensive point guard college this summer, being able to lead the team best appropriately. I know that's something I struggled with in the first half. I wasn't able to lead as I felt like I should have, and they couldn't depend on me. And Nina stepped up big time for that, so I appreciate you, Neat. But, yeah, I'll let her handle the recruiting part.
Deshaun Jones from NB Online. My question is for Zippy. You talked about building on your point guard skills. I believe you had a great highlight as a point guard where you threw a no look beyond the back assist. Can you walk us through what did you see or not see during that play?
Hey, I'm just happy it wasn't a turnover. I feel like a lot of times in practice, I've been having a lot of crazy passes like that, and sometimes it's not received because I might be going a little crazy. But I was happy that Flora, she was able to catch that, and I was just having fun. Like when you play basketball, when you hoop, you're just doing, just having fun and doing whatever is necessary. Like that's what makes the game exciting. People want to see a show, and that's what we did the best of our ability.
Azar Johnson from MB Magazine. I want to ask you, ladies, what you guys came within 4. What do you think it is that either they were doing or what you think you failed to do on your part to overcome that? Because you guys it was looking like they were going to pull away, and then you guys just started breaking it down, play by play, drive by drive, and then you got it down to 4, and then something changed. If you can just explain what, in your eyes, what you thought changed the game at that point.
That's something that, like I just said, I have to learn as a point guard. I let the game slip right out of my fingertips. We started getting a lead, and I know I came in transition, shot at 3, bricked it. But I went in the huddle, I apologized immediately, like, yo, I was excited. And in those moments when we start cutting the lead like that, that's when we need to execute the best. Of course, we can be excited. Of course, we can make big plays. But it got to a point where we wasn't sharing the ball as much as we had to get to that point. And we started trying to do things one-on-one. And we started to do things where it just wasn't the best decision in execution. So that's something that, as a point guard, that I'm going to have to take control over next time.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right. Thank you, Zippy and Nita.
We don't leave her.
All right. We will open things up for Coach Finley.
Coach John Altavilla from the Associated Press. Talk about the frustration, if you can, about these last 3 weeks with the injuries and having to come into a game like this already shorthanded and then losing another player in the second quarter, I think it was, and just knowing what could have been if it hadn't happened.
Yeah, I think, it was unfortunate. I think that's probably the biggest word that I would use, but I don't know, you guys might think I'm crazy, but it was typical. I think that our team is resilient, and it was unfortunate. However, like I said, we don't make excuses. And we have a talented roster, and we all believe in each other, and that's what got us this far. And every night when we lined up this season, we played Tennessee, we played Kentucky, we played A&M. We rattled off a long string of games right there. And a lot of people on the outside, I don't know what they thought, but I'm not sure that it really mattered to us. And so our hope and our goal today was to compete every possession. But sometimes we did that. I think sometimes we got a little too excited, like Zippy said. I appreciate her accountability. I think that's a making of a great, great, great leader. There was a lot of times probably today where I could have taken better control of the game, right? I tried to use timeouts early to help us as best as we could. But it was different. It's different without Kiki on the floor. And to act like it's not is just kind of ignorant, right? And then Jordan, and then Faith, and then Bryn, it is what it is. But I'm proud of our team. I stand by when I say I'm incredibly inspired by each and every one of them, and I thought we had a very magical season this year.
What was the nature of Faith's injury? What happened to her?
I haven't talked to our medical staff yet, just knew that she would be out for the remainder of the game. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Coach. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's one graduate that's not coming back. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? There's one player.
We'll have our end of the year meetings. after we get back to Gainesville, and then, everybody will decide what's best for them.
Right. No, I was just assuming. I think the one player, like if the graduate they can't return. I'm assuming it was the last game. If you can just speak about that player, and because they're not here on the podium to speak about everything, or that last game. So if you could please speak about that player.
Kiki. I don't know. Do you guys want to speak on Kiki first? I think, Nina, you could speak to,
Yeah.
what Kiki has meant to you. The
I would
impact
just
that she's
say,
had.
real is rare. You rarely find players like Kiki that embrace their position and do whatever it takes to see their teammates successful. And we're definitely going to miss her a lot, even off the court. She's impacted me in so many ways. I don't even know where to start, but just as a person off the court, maturing and being confident in myself, she's always been there to talk to me about things and help me on my game. So I appreciate Kiki so much, and I'm going to miss her a lot.
You want me to speak on Kiki? Oh gosh, I'm not really sure where to start. And I will get emotional probably because, Kiki is somebody that had signed with a different school. Her story is really unique and it's really cool. I think you should write about it. You should call and you should ask her. But she came to Florida and she committed to us without having seen the campus. And when she did, I'll never forget, she said, "It's the people that make a place. And because of that, I know that Florida's where I want to be." And we've spent a lot of days and a lot of time together trying to improve her game. And, for me as a coach, like Zippy and I talk about a lot, like we got to spend a lot of more time together. It was easy to coach Kiki. She was a joy every single day. Gosh, she never had a bad day. Even when, she got injured, to see her bounce back against Ole Miss and be able to talk and lead and, try to help Zip with what she's seeing on the floor, and Birdie and Nina and, shoot the pull-up, Nina, I'll never forget, all those kinds of things. It's because she's selfless. And you don't find people like that very much anymore, with a resiliency, a work ethic, a belief, to do whatever it takes to uplift the people around her. And in doing so, she's made our program better. Her, Christina, Manu, they've sacrificed a lot. And she sacrificed a lot to come back when she could have been drafted last year. But like she said after the SEC tournament, she doesn't regret it. It's hard sometimes as a coach to be like, oh man, should she? I don't know, right? Especially when you love and care for somebody like we do her. But she wouldn't do it any differently. And she's elevated this program, and her legacy will forever be great at Florida.
Coach Howard Magdal with the Next. Congratulations on the season that you've had. And obviously it's been tumultuous. There's so much to try and consider, and you guys are here in the NCAA tournament anyway. You're also in a position of stability now to know going forward, that you're going to be in charge, to know, among other things, you've got Zippy at the point. There's some different things that you can bank on going into this next year. And so I'm going to refer the question that Zippy referred to you, which is to say, how do you get to where you want to be a year from now, and what does that look like?
Continue to do what we're doing. I think that's the best way to put it. A relentless work ethic, a joy centered around your daily life, a joy centered around each other. That's never going to change in this program. We want to have a mental fortitude, as a group and individually. We want to be strong, confident women, and we want to be loving and caring and competitive. We want to be all things. And I want our student athletes to believe that. I want to be that, and I want to do that together with them. And, moving forward, it's important that we recruit those qualities. This team has those qualities. And with that, you can go a long way. and then you can continue to build. I think that connecting experiences, connecting feelings and emotions with memories and different things of that nature. Zippy calls me the hippie coach. It's okay because she's the hippie player. I think that stuff's important, and I think that that leads to tremendous growth in a short amount of time.
Stratton Stave, the Daily Campus. So we talked a little about the adversity that you faced this year, but I think one thing that's important to touch on is also the fact that you guys, between like the middle of January and February, were one of the hottest teams in the country. Do you think you can learn more from the adversity or the success that you guys had this year going into the offseason?
Oh, both. Again, that goes back to just making the connections. Listen, I think we're a really good basketball team. You know, the ball didn't bounce our way. UCF, competed hard against us today, but I think we play hard. You know, their kids said they play harder. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I think that competitors compete, players make plays, and I'll stand with our group any day of the week. And so, yeah, there was a string there where we were able to really successfully just lock into each other, continue to grow. We'd focus on 3 things that we could improve on, 3 things maybe that we did well, try to celebrate each other, celebrate the little things, as silly as that sounds. But you got to learn from both. I think that a lot of the narrative has been centered and focused around adversity. I think it's a narrative that should be centered around a group of young women and a staff, a group of people who are inspiring and uplifting. And because of that, we achieved far, far more than a lot of people thought, but we never doubted ourselves.
All right, we're going to take one last question from online from Caleb. Caleb, you have the floor.
Coach Caleb again with the Independent Florida Alligator. So what is now going to be your first team in Florida is going to be one that's going to be remembered for a really, really long time in Florida basketball. You touched on a lot about the adversity and successes, and it just came at a really good time, I think, for this program and for this school that really needed it after everything that was swirling. With the season coming to a close, what would you say that your group means to you as now your first complete team?
Oh man, they mean everything. It's like I said, there's some teams that you coach that are challenging to coach. This one was never that. They made my job easy every day. They chose to give me a great experience too. We set out to create a very positive experience. I think we did that as best that we could day in and day out. And they worked really, really hard to give me that experience and our staff that experience as well. I think as a coach, I don't know if there will ever be as selfless of a group as this one. They've been really fun to coach. They've been inspiring. And, I think I'm sad that this team will never compete together again. But I know that they'll have reunions and all kinds of fun stuff because they're a really tight-knit group and they enjoy each other. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
You didn't have a question? Yeah, that's okay. Either way.
It's up to you. You want to?
Great question. Yeah, learned a lot. I've learned that you can be who you are and you can be all those things that you want to be as a woman. The people who know me best probably are student athletes, know that you can be fiery and fierce and competitive and intense and challenge each other and be competitive and loving and caring and kind and all the things. You don't have to be afraid to be vulnerable. And you know, when you model that, great things can happen. And it can be scary, but it can be really, really special when you open yourself up to those kinds of things. And always operate with honesty as best that you can. And I know that I've grown a lot this season with their help, with the help of our staff. And I hope, you know, that I've made them proud, just like they've made me very, very proud.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, we're fine. You guys good?
It's from your time at Harvard,
Mm-hmm.
and you know Kathy Delaney-Smith is retiring. I'm wondering if you had any stories in particular you wanted to share about KDS and just
Oh,
your
man.
time with her.
She's awesome. She's my inspiration. She taught me how to coach. She taught me everything that's right about the game. She taught me how to create a great experience. She taught me how to love hard. I'm forever indebted to her, and I was hoping she could make the game today, but she couldn't. But yeah, I don't know. She's funny, she's loving, she's caring, she's all those things that I just said that you could hope to be as a coach and a mentor and a person. So, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Zippy and Nina.